All right, what's up, guys? I got another little haul for you. Pretty big stack of movies, and one very special thing I'm going to save for the end that I've been wanting forever and finally found. A lot of these are from the Dollar Tree. I almost gave up on the Dollar Tree there for a while. For a few months, it seemed like the weekly shipments of random Blu-rays of crazy stuff had kind of come to an end, and they were just going to kind of keep, 20 copies of Wicker Park and Pieces of April and Mermaid's Curse, and not a lot else was going to happen. But last week, because I stop in there every once in a while just to look, they really stepped it up. I'm hoping that's a trend, because I found one thing that when I saw it, I almost audibly gasped in the store. And then a bunch of other really solid stuff too in there. And I got a couple things from flea markets and used bookstores. But we're starting with the Dollar Tree. And the first of that is Spree. Everybody remembers this from 2020 when we were all stuck at home. Pretty good movie. Has Joe Keery, who is from Stranger Things, of course. Collider calls this American Psycho for the digital age. That's a bit of a stretch, but it is a pretty fun movie. And on Blu-ray for $1.25, I'm obviously gonna get that. Next is a fun one. I got Mega Shark 8 movie collection. I mainly got this for one reason and one reason only. Before I tell you, I'll list off what it has. It has Toxic Shark, Shark Attack 1 through 3, so a whole franchise here. Shark in Venice, Malibu Shark Attack, Shark Zone. But the reason I got this is because the last movie is called Shark Man. And the synopsis reads, scientist Dr. King, played by Jeffrey Combs, accidentally turns his son into a hideous half-man, half-shark. Also starring William Forsythe. I had to get this. I have to watch Sharkman, or Sharkman, whichever way it's pronounced. Even if every other movie on this sucks, Jeffrey Combs is always great. He's one of those actors who, he's from the theater, he comes up with a character and a backstory for most of his roles, and he plays it with 100% effort and skill. And I'm curious to see if that level of quality from him stays the same in a cheap, crappy shark movie. So yeah, I had to get this, and I'm actually pretty excited about it. Because who doesn't love Jeffrey Combs? Next is The Furries. I think this is a documentary about people who like to dress up like animals or something. Pretty cool. Next is House at the End of the Street, starring J-Law. I think this is more of like a thriller. Probably not really up my alley, but there's been a couple times I almost watched it because I think it used to be on Netflix for a long time. And every time I had the subscription, I would kind of almost watch it, never bit the bullet. Now there's no time limit because I got it for $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. Maybe good, I don't know, who knows? Let me know if you know. All right, these next few are not horror, but they're things that I found at the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to show them as an example of how much Dollar Tree stepped it up just this one week, and hopefully in weeks to come, because it's pretty good stuff. First of all, being Rocky on Blu-ray. This is how Dollar Tree used to be. You used to be able to walk in there and find crazy shit like Rocky on Blu-ray for $1. And it's been a while since it's been like that. I'm not partial to Rocky, but it's on Blu-ray for $1.25, so I had to grab it. And maybe I'll rewatch it and like it. I don't know. I've never really given it that much of a chance. Also got Hardcore Henry. This is a movie that when the trailer dropped, I remember being very excited to see it. And then I just never got around to it, and it fell out of my mind. And then lo and behold, Dollar Tree had it on Blu-ray. So hell yeah, I'll get to watch this soon. I think it'll be good. Just the POV action thing. I don't see it being not enjoyable, and I've heard good things, so. Next on DVD is Beach Bum, which I remember renting a long time ago, and I have a fond memory of it. I think it was enjoyable. Just Matthew McConaughey being as Matthew McConaughey as he can be, as like a stoner in the 70s or 80s, something like that, and a surfer dude. If I'm remembering that right. I might have it mixed up with another movie. Am I mixing it up? When I remember, he was a surfer and he was either getting a sponsorship or trying to get a sponsorship. I don't know. It seems like a cameo movie though. Snoop Dogg, Zac Efron, Jimmy Buffett, Martin Lawrence. So yeah, at the very least, I'll get to possibly revisit this or realize that I'm mixing it up with something else. Next up is Zoolander on DVD. I bought this because it's Zoolander. Next is Arizona. I don't know anything about this movie, but it was $1.25 again, and it's Danny McBride, Luke Wilson. This will be a movie that I will probably watch with my wife when we have nothing else to watch, and I'm sure it'll be good for at least a few laughs. One thing, I had to open this one because the disc was loose, and I couldn't, my OCD wouldn't let me not open it and put it back in the thing. I don't even know if you can see this, but it's pretty scratched up, but I'm sure it'll play fine. And the last of the non-horror from Dollar Tree, I'm just showing this for posterity. I do not endorse the Pitch Perfect franchise, but my wife likes it, so I got Pitch Perfect 3. If you're a Pitch Perfect franchise fan, just know you can go get the third installment at the Dollar Tree. Next is the Vampire Werewolf Dark Moon collection. This has a bunch of presumably public domain, black and white werewolf and vampire movies. A throwback to the early 2000s, late 90s Walmart days, when you could buy these multi-packs of really cheap, crappy, or sometimes really great movies. Used to be a great way to discover movies. This is put out by, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, Pop Flicks. And at this point, I'm pretty sure I own the entire Pop Flicks public domain movie pack collection. I've got this one, I've got a zombie one, and I have another one that's just random monster movies. This one's got Werewolf in a Girl's Dormitory, which sounds fun. Werewolf of Washington, which is an old Elvira classic. Fangs of the Living Dead, The Devil's Nightmare, Grave of the Vampire, which sounds cool, and Moon of the Wolf. And just like the other ones, probably something I might throw on around Halloween for atmosphere, and maybe I'll end up liking one of them. Next is Countdown. Pretty good movie that a lot of people I think were shitting on, but I enjoyed it. It was a fun little kind of almost Final Destination-y technology horror kind of movie about a app that predicts your death and seems to cause it. Next is Owners with Massey Williams. This is one that I used to get confused with The Rental all the time. And The Rental is a really good movie that I enjoyed a lot. Maybe this one will be a good movie I'll enjoy a lot too. We'll see. It seems like it could go either way. I got it confused with The Rental a lot, but I don't think it's much like The Rental. This one seems to be about, like, Don't Breathe instead, where these people are breaking into an elderly couple's house, and the elderly couple is not what they seem. And this is the big one. This is the one where when I saw it, I almost yelled in the store. This is a movie that I have held off buying forever because I would have had to have bought it on DVD, which isn't a bad thing. It's better than not owning it. But I knew the second I paid like $10 for a DVD, they were going to release a Blu-ray. And as fate would have it, right before they're about to re-release the Blu-ray, Dollar Tree made the decision for me and gave me The Guest for $1.25. I couldn't believe when I saw The Guest in there. This might be the highest caliber movie I've ever seen in Dollar Tree. This movie, as we all probably know, is fantastic. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's basically, what's his name? Adam Wingard. This is basically Adam Wingard's take on Halloween. It's Michael Myers if Michael Myers had charisma. It's more of an action thriller kind of movie than a horror movie, but it's got some Halloween vibes in it. It's super creepy, super entertaining, and it was $1.25 at the freaking dollar store. I couldn't believe that. Maybe I'm more impressed than anybody else will be, but yeah, I was freaking out when I saw this. Very happy. Probably the best movie I've ever gotten from Dollar Tree. All right, now we're moving on to things I got from my local video store. Some pretty juicy stuff. First being Return to Oz, Steel Sealed. If you can see that. This is one that I got so that I could watch it around Halloween because I haven't seen it and I've heard good things. I heard it's pretty weird and trippy. It's got a scarecrow with a jack-o'-lantern head, as you can see. It's got Fairuza Balk as a little kid playing Dorothy, who's returning to Oz for some reason. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but definitely around closer to Halloween, I'm gonna be checking this out, and I'm very excited about it. Next is out of print and kind of hard to find, way overcharged for on the internet. It actually didn't come with a case, which is kind of sad, but Pumpkinhead 3 Ashes to Ashes, a sci-fi original sequel of the Pumpkinhead franchise. I'd actually, until I got this, hadn't seen 3 or 4. I've since watched this. I've heard 3 and 4 get shit on all the time, and I'll be honest with you, after watching this, it's not that bad. It's not great or anything, but I'd say it's technically a better movie than Blood Wings for as much as I love that movie. For being made in the 2000s, direct to sci-fi, it was pretty good. It had some cool, pretty gory kills. The CGI was a little bit annoying. And you know, the story, if you're like a diehard Pumpkinhead lore enthusiast, might be a little annoying. But as far as fun, especially with my low expectations, I enjoyed it. And it's got Doug Bradley and Lance Hendrickson in it. Pretty good stuff. Last from the video store is Time Crimes. I don't know much about it, but I remember a couple years ago, people were talking about it. I heard some good things. So now I own it and can check it out. All right, now these are things I got from Amazon a little while back when they had their buy 2, get 1 free thing. First is Chucky Season 1. I really enjoyed this season. I only watched the first 3 episodes when it first came out on YouTube when they were showing like the first 2 or 3 or whatever it was for free on YouTube. I enjoyed those a lot. So when it came out on home video, because I'm not going to get sci-fi some convoluted way, so I just waited for it to come out on home video, and I enjoyed the whole season. If you like Chucky, you'll love it. I think anyway. Next is Deadly Friend. One I hadn't seen. I have watched it since I got it, and I fucking loved it. Instant classic. I'm probably gonna watch this once a year, maybe. We'll see. Good stuff. The basketball scene, of course, is great. Couple other good kills in here. Christy Swanson acting like a robot. What's not to love? Really good stuff. And third and last from the Amazon and of my regular stuff, I've got one more thing that's really special, but this is the last of the individual whatever, and it's Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge. Another one I hadn't seen and since I bought it and fucking loved. Where has this movie been? It's so hilarious. I know it's from the 80s, but this movie's as 90s as hell. The mall setting and the clothes and the Pauly Shore. Oh man, it's so good. Surprised this wasn't more popular before Arrow dug it back up and released it. Pauly Shore's first role, I think, maybe. He was definitely a toned down Pauly Shore, but he was still Pauly Shore. The bones were there. All right, and last, the big finale. I found this at a used bookstore for a pretty good price. It's not in the best shape, but it's something I've wanted for a long time that I just kind of thought I would never get. Plenty of people have it, but I didn't. So I'm very excited to have found it for such a good price. It's a little beat up. I'm about to spill it. The Nightmare on Elm Street DVD box set. It's got some wear. It's missing a booklet. But I saved it. It has a good home now where it'll be taken care of. I've wanted this forever. I mean, this is one of the best box sets that's ever come out. It's got the embossed Freddy on each side. It's the only way to own DVD copies of the movies with the original cover art, even though they got the size wrong for some reason. Nonetheless, awesome cover arts. Snapper cases, which you might know I am a fan of. Has the spines lined up forming a picture. In case you haven't seen it, which I think everybody has, but I'll show. Got the embossed classic Freddy on this side. Has the cool New Nightmare eyes there with the movies listed. And then the New Nightmare Freddy name on top. Nothing on the bottom but a barcode. Has this is kind of cool if you haven't seen it. This crazy art that's on the Nightmare series encyclopedia disc. No glasses, no booklet. It's not complete. But like I said, I kind of figured I would never get this because, I mean, the price is only going up on it as it becomes more rare and hard to find. And the people who want it are getting it. And I got it incredibly cheap. So I'm happy with it. It looks good on the shelf. Makes me very happy to look at. But yeah, that's the haul. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you thought. If you're as excited about the guest at the Dollar Tree as I am, or my Worst for Wear's Nightmare on Elm Street set, or if you've seen Sharkman, let me know. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And until next time.